Wait, did Mary Kay just reveal that Shedeur Sanders might actually start over Deshaun Watson week 1? The NFL world is going crazy over this, and what she said next will change everything you thought you knew about the Browns quarterback battle.
Hi, this is Mary Kay Cabot from Cleveland.com after day 1 of Browns rookie minicamp. Of course, all eyes were on the quarterbacks today. We watched Shedeur Sanders and Dillon Gabriel out there throwing the ball in 11-on-11s, in 7-on-7s. And the key thing to note, I thought today, was the fact that Dillon Gabriel went first in those team drills and those 7-on-7s. We knew that was going to happen because, of course, they drafted him ahead of Shedeur, who they passed over 6 times in this draft. So basically what's going to happen here is that Shedeur is going to have to keep climbing up that depth chart if he actually wants to get into the starting lineup at some point. And when the veterans are joined on Monday, when they have to get out there with Kenny Pickett and Joe Flacco, of course it's going to become even harder for these young guys. I actually think at that point the depth chart, the imaginary depth chart, will be Kenny Pickett, then Dillon Gabriel, then Joe Flacco, and then Shedeur. So Shedeur has his work cut out for him, but he's got a great work ethic. He worked really hard today. He took good coaching, and I thought he made some progress.
Here we go again. The Cleveland media is once again lockstep in promoting the idea of Deshaun Watson playing quarterback again for the Browns. Mary Kay Cabot was on 92.3 The Fan telling everyone that some people in the organization thought Watson looked like the best quarterback on the field during his 3 weeks of practices last season when he was running the scout team offense for the team. And then on ESPN Cleveland, Tony Rizzo started asking, why aren't fans considering the outcome where Watson actually returns to form and is great again? Newsflash, Deshaun Watson hasn't been great or a high-level quarterback since 2020, before the Browns traded for him. He's never been that guy for Cleveland, and now he's old and always hurt. Who in their right mind would suggest he's going to magically return to his pre-injured 24-year-old Houston Texans form when he's 6 years older, significantly slower, and less athletic, and coming off back-to-back years of shoulder surgery and 2 Achilles repairs? And what's even crazier is that Shedeur Sanders, as a rookie and playing in the worst offense in the league, put up better numbers than Watson has in any of his 3 brief seasons for the Browns.
What's going on, YouTube? This is Mad Dog TV coming back with another one. It's silly season. I'm going to shift more towards G. Bush simply because of it being silly season more than 92.3 The Fan. And you guys going to understand that in a second. Boog Knight also joined G. Bush to talk about Shedeur Sanders loving the support from us. We're going to talk about that in this video, so let's get to it.
Every other city I go, from Colorado to the Bayou I go. Y'all know the I get a info I know.
Yo, what's good, Browns Nation? Mary Kay Cabot just dropped a bomb that has the entire NFL world talking right now. She's revealing Jimmy Haslam's real plans for Shedeur Sanders heading into 2026. And trust me when I say this, what she leaked is absolutely wild. Deshaun Watson only has a 40% chance of starting week 1. The Browns are actually considering bringing in competition. And get this, Shedeur Sanders' name is being mentioned in the same breath as their potential week 1 starter. Stick with me because what I'm about to break down is going to change everything you thought you knew about this Browns quarterback situation.
I go, y'all know the motto, get a info I know. My people know it's Mad Dog TV, let's go. To every other city, every city I go. From Colorado to the Bayou I go. Y'all know the motto, get a info I know. My people know it's Mad Dog TV, let's go.
It's silly season, which means the Cleveland Browns media is going to feed us a lot of nonsense.
All right, let me set the scene for you real quick. We're officially in silly season, which for those who don't know, means the media is about to feed us nonsense from now until September. Last year we dealt with it, and this year it's happening all over again. But here's the thing. When Mary Kay Cabot speaks, you actually have to pay attention because she's got legit sources inside the Browns organization. So what did she say exactly? She was asked point blank, what's the % chance that Deshaun Watson is the week 1 starter for our Cleveland Browns? And y'all, Her answer shocked everybody. She said, and I quote, "Right now, the chances are probably somewhere around 40%. 40%. Let that sink in for a second. The guy they're paying $230 million guaranteed only has a 40% shot at starting. That's basically a coin flip. But here's where it gets even crazier. She went on to say that both Todd Monken and Andrew Berry have stated they are open to bringing in a quarterback from the outside. Now, she mentioned draft, free agency, or trade as possibilities. But then she dropped the name that everyone's been waiting to hear. She said, and these are her exact words, "Right at the moment, he's right in the thick of it with, I would say it would be Shedeur Sanders and Deshaun Watson competing for that starting job right now." Hold up. Did Mary Kay Cabot just confirm what we've all been thinking? That Shedeur Sanders versus Deshaun Watson is the real competition happening in Cleveland? Because that's exactly what she just said on air, and the internet is going absolutely insane right now. But before we get too hyped, let's talk about something that's been bothering me lately. There's this weird narrative going around where people are more interested in reclamation projects from the outside the building than developing what you already have internally. And honestly, I don't get it. Why would you spend draft capital or free agent money you barely have, by the way, on journeyman quarterbacks who haven't had success in the NFL? We're talking about guys like Malik Willis, whoever else people want to throw out there. These are quarterbacks that have proven absolutely nothing at the professional level. Meanwhile, you've got a quarterback in Shedeur Sanders who's going into his second year, showed flashes of brilliance, and won the most games of any quarterback who started for Cleveland last season. But somehow, people want to ignore that and chase after the next shiny object that becomes available.
Off season, get ready for it. We experienced that last year, and we're going to experience it again this year. Nobody other than G. Bush could have explained it better, which I'm going to show you with you guys in a second. But Mary Kay today gave us a little insight as far as it being silly season of what the Cleveland Browns are going to do ahead of the NFL draft and the roster that they have ahead of the 2026 season. I'm gonna play that video clip along with Boog Knight also showing a lot of love and respect for Shedeur Sanders.
It's like clean your own house before you start worrying about what's outside. You know what I'm saying? And this goes back to the Todd Monken hire. Remember what the Browns said when they fired Kevin Stefanski. Andrew Berry and Jimmy Haslam believe that Stefanski could have gotten more out of the current roster. They believe they need to upgrade certain positions on offense, sure, but overall, they felt like there was enough talent already here to get it done. If you listen to what Todd Monken's been saying in interviews, and the Browns have been posting clips all over social media, he's talking about three specific things. Number one, building an elite coaching staff. Number two, assessing the current roster. Number three, building out schemes to play fast and physical. When you hear a coach with over 30 years of experience talking like that, what do you think he means? To me, it sounds like he's focused on evaluating the talent that's already here. He's not out there begging for new quarterbacks. He's saying, let me see what I've got, and let me put these players in positions to succeed. The phrase play fast and physical tells me everything I need to know. He wants his quarterback, his receivers, his running backs, everybody to think less and execute more. Stop overthinking. Just go out there and ball. And here's what people aren't talking about enough. When you hire an offensive genius like Todd Monken, somebody who understands the challenges ahead of him, don't you think he's going to maximize what he's already got before he goes chasing unproven talent? But that's not what the media wants you to think. Nah, they'd rather throw out any random scenario because the football season is over and they need clicks. They want you to believe that somehow Malik Willis or some other backup quarterback is going to come in and save the day, when in reality, that doesn't even make sense financially or competitively. Let me tell you something real quick. There are a lot of people willing to give anybody outside the building a chance. Quarterbacks who haven't been successful, journeymen who've bounced around teams, but they won't give that same energy to the quarterback who's actually been here, who won games for you, who showed promise and potential. That's backwards.
Deshaun Watson is the Week 1 starter for our Cleveland Browns.
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know if I can put an exact percentage on it, but I would say right now the chances are probably somewhere around 40%. I think the thing to remember here with both Todd Monken and Andrew Berry is that they have both said that they are open to bringing in a quarterback from the outside. So we don't really know yet what's going to happen in the draft, free agency, a trade, but right at the moment, he's right in the thick of it with, I would say it would be Shedeur Sanders and Deshaun Watson competing.
Now, let me shift gears and talk about something Boog Knight said recently, because it ties directly into all of this. Boog was talking about the love and respect that Shedeur Sanders has earned from his fan base, and he said something powerful. He said that the people who are in Shedeur's corner, his real supporters, they've walked some long miles with him. They've been on this journey from day one. And here's what really hit me. Boog said he told Shedeur, just go out and be the best, bro. And before he could even finish, Shedeur cut him off and said, I did that already, and you see what happened. Pause. Let that marinate for a second. Shedeur said, I had to dig deeper than just being the best because I realized that sometimes your best is not good enough for certain people. Wow. He said, so for me, it's about those people, my fan base, the ones who walk with me every day. At this point, I'm doing it for them. It's bigger than me. He said that's why he stuck through everything he stuck through. That's why he fought through what he fought through. Because if it was just about him, he'd be good regardless. But he found something bigger than himself, his supporters, his believers, the people who fight for him every single day. Man, when you hear a quarterback talking like that, how can you not root for him? And that's exactly why I'm shifting my content strategy. Yeah, I'll still cover Mary Kay Cabot reports, Tony Grossi updates, all the Browns news that's actually worth reporting, but throwing out random quarterback names just for clicks? Nah, I'm done with that. Because honestly, it's draining for me, and I know it's draining for y'all too. We all know that guys like Malik Willis don't even stand a chance competing with Shedeur Sanders, and we're not even going to entertain it because the Browns don't even have the money to make moves like that anyway. Could it be a Deshaun Watson versus Shedeur Sanders competition? Absolutely. We've already heard that possibility, but we don't need to hear it over and over and over again from every talking head on TV. That's why I'm leaning more towards content creators like G. Bush, who give us what we actually need to hear, instead of just throwing out nonsense for engagement. So here's my final thought. This silly season is going to test all of us. The media is going to feed us storylines that don't make sense. They're going to hype up quarterbacks who have no business being in the conversation. But we have to stay locked in on what actually matters, and that's Shedeur Sanders' development and the Browns building a winning culture under Todd Monken. Mary Kay's report confirms what a lot of us have been thinking. This is Shedeur's team to lose. The competition is real, but when you look at everything, the talent, the potential, the leadership, the connection with the fan base, there's only one quarterback who makes sense for Cleveland's future, and that's number 2. All right, Browns Nation, that's all I got for you today. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Do you believe Mary Kay's report? Do you think Shedeur is the future? Or are you still riding with Deshaun? Let's talk about it. And yo, if you made it this far, hit that subscribe button right now. Turn on that post notification bell so you don't miss a single update on Shedeur Sanders and the Cleveland Browns. Like this video, share it with your fellow Browns fans, and let's get this trending across the USA.